is what is the scope of the project that you are tackling with Avant Consulting Group, and why did you choose us to assist? I'd like to think because you just know that we're the best, and I have a feeling there might be a more nuanced answer than that. So by all means, I'll drop this into the chat, but I'll ask it one more time again. What is the scope of the project, and why did you choose Avant Consulting Group to assist you? And Heidi, I'd love it if you wouldn't mind going first.
Sure, absolutely. So we wanted to accelerate our engagement with the African American community, specifically in North Minneapolis. And we wanted to do that to increase dementia awareness and the available care and support programs that are available for the community. So we secured some funding to be able to support the work to get us started. And the funding allowed us to release a request for proposal for a DEI consultant, and the Avant group was one of the many that applied. And I think what we were really impressed with when we conducted our interviews, we were specifically impressed by Dr. Avant's passion. So I'm surprised that you thought you scared us off, because you didn't. That's actually the reason why, one of the reasons why we chose you. But also her curiosity about dementia, the Alzheimer's Association. And then secondly, Stephanie, who has participated in the interview, was a well-connected and trusted community leader. And I also think had trusted and connected to specific individuals and organizations in the North Minneapolis area, specifically Zeta Phi Beta, which happens to be a national partner of the Alzheimer's Association. So that's the why. But really the project is about convening community leaders and influencers and members of the community to understand and learn from them through a listening session, learn about their experiences with early detection, diagnosis, and how they receive support when it comes to living with dementia. So we haven't had the event yet. It's scheduled for January, but we've had a lot of conversations with internally with Avant and with some community leaders to be able to best structure the event and think through what would this event look like. So I'm really excited about the event.
We are too. Thank you so much. And I know my team is not the best at receiving compliments, so I'm imagining Dr. Avant and Stephanie are making super awkward faces. I'm having a bad eye day, so I can't necessarily see them, but I am living for the fact that they had to hear compliments about themselves and are now probably sitting there feeling very awkward. Crista, can I go to you next?
Yeah, happy to answer. So for the scope of our project, like I mentioned earlier, is we're focused internally. We need to take care of ourselves before we can have that greater impact on the communities we serve. It's kind of like when you're on an airplane with an infant, you always put your oxygen mask on first and then the other person. So we recognized that we needed to do our own work and our own healing internally. So our scope is really to move us beyond all the education that we've done and help us to move toward interrupting racism in the moment when it happens, and develop an ongoing structure for accountability within the organization for the work, so that when our consultancy is done, we don't lose ground and we don't go backwards. So it was real important for us to have that accountability piece as well. And then really, we've done a lot of policy changes. We've done extensive education. The organization's committed to the work, and we've dedicated time. Our board of directors dipped into restricted board funds specifically so we could engage a consultant. And I'm just really proud of that, because I've been with the organization for 18 years now, and I've never seen them dip into those funds. So that was a really big deal for us. And so we recognized that we really needed to support each individual in the organization to do the individual work that needs to be done personally, but then also professionally with for their career, in order for us to shift as we are the whole of an organization, because an organization is made up of people. So we got the approval from our board of directors, and they designated the money, and we did a competitive procurement. And like Heidi said, we also had a lot of interest in our competitive procurement. Just bottom line, Avant completely wowed us in the interview. Everybody can write things, right? You see lots of people that write things, but we knew we needed to do interviews. And the diverse group of people that were in the interview and the connection that we felt with them, like immediately you felt like these are people that you can talk with. And given that this is heart work, we always say, there's intellectual work, but this is really heart work. It's hard work and it's messy. We needed somebody that we felt connected with, and we got that right away from the very beginning with Avant, and we've had that ever since. They demonstrated then in the interview and throughout our engagement that we've had with them a real, true, genuine ability to be flexible, continuously asking us what do they need to do to meet our needs. They are the experts in anti-racism and organizational change, but it's been very apparent since the very beginning that they respect that we're the expert of our organization. So it's been a true partnership, and we're very, very happy to work with them. So thank you.
Thank you, Crista. Know that we feel equally connected to you through this work, and just so excited about all of the amazing change that we've seen within your organization. I'm so happy you're a part of an organization that recognizes the importance of this. I know they dipped into those funds, as you mentioned, and I know how difficult that can be, but I'm glad to hear you have that sort of organizational buy-in for this kind of work. And I've hoped that the work we've done has helped bolster that. So, you honor us. Thank you. Dante.
Yeah, similar to Krista, we had some organizational buy-in from the beginning. Leadership felt like it was important, and also the staff was very, very vocal about their desire to engage the topic. And then when I say that, DEI, more specifically, and have more time as a staff to do it together. And so we also conducted a competitive process as well. And I remember going into it, before we sent out the RFP or made it public, I had someone take a look at it, and they remarked and said, Dante, you're asking for a lot here, and you may not be able to get all of this. And that would be okay, but they wanted me to know that. And it was a good note, just because, as Chris, I love what you said there about this being heart work. And I hadn't thought about it in those terms, but yeah, it's a lot to execute and to take on. But what we really wanted was to be able to educate our staff and create a baseline. So I was having a lot of conversations, hearing a lot from staff members about their desire to engage in DEI, but folks were all over the map with regard to their level of awareness, what words they used to describe things, how they in different levels around how they engaged with the topic. So what I really wanted to do and thought was a good idea was for us to kind of level set, and start there and then build up from there. So what we were able to do with Avant was really take advantage of these great sessions that they have. And for anyone joining today and haven't had the opportunity to sit in on one of these sessions, that they are absolutely incredible. The team does a great job of delivering them, and you will know the impact because they are going to evaluate and ask questions during the session and after. And that was really helpful for us. But yeah, so we were able to create this, a package of classes that Avant would help us would deliver for our organization. And then also we built in some time for the team to talk with our program leads, to talk a little bit more about their work and areas where they could be doing more or exploring more, how to incorporate DEI into their work. So that was really that was the genesis and the scope for us. And so now we are at a point of where we are looking to kind of build that next level of and incorporate those next level of workshops with our staff. That was something that folks really enjoyed, and being able again to do it as a staff together. And then also our board had a similar challenge with regard to DEI. And so Dr. Avant and the team and Dr. Avant with their great speaking and presentation ability just really wowed our board during a retreat earlier this year. But really, again, it was an opportunity for us to set a baseline with the board, make sure folks have some common knowledge, a common language, or words around how we use words we should use when we're talking about this. And now we're able to build on top of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dante. I loved hearing that, and we're excited about this next level with you all. I think a lot of folks think about engaging us at that intro level, but I think you all on this call really demonstrate like we're happy to take that entire journey with you if you're willing to have us along for that. So thank you.